Hey, Brandon Michael with Ball Enterprise. Today I am going to smoke this Lonsdale. It's a Baller Enterprise sample. This was my favorite one out of the samples. This is my last one. This is a Connecticut Ecuadorian broadleaf with a Brazilian binder and Nicaragua Esteli, Brazilian Matafina, and Criollo 98 Ecuadorian. So yeah. Got some decaf coffee. Yep. It's lush. It's earthy. It's peppery. Cinnamon. A little espresso flavor. Just got back from BNI Christmas party. BNI is Business Networking International. I am in a networking group of business professionals where it's kind of like you pass referrals and hold each other accountable, and it's industry specific, meaning only one person from each industry can have a seat in the chapter. So I am the handyman of the group. I also have a handyman construction company called Candor Upkeep Handyman Services. So we've been going strong for 4 years now. Number one in Kansas City. Best contractor in Kansas City. Not bad, since I've only been in Kansas City for 3 years. So this last one, I got these about 3 weeks ago. And this last one, I've let it sit for about 3 weeks. So, I mean, it's only about a month old, this cigar, altogether, and they were fresh and soft and humid, perfect. But I wanted to save one, let it rest for a few weeks, and then dry box it for a couple days, and that's what I did. Sometimes when it's a little bit drier or a little bit more humid, either way, you can taste some different flavors. And so I wanted to see what this one was like. It's a little bit spicier. Which I like. So, when you're storing your cigars, you gotta test them. Once you find one you like, dry box it for a couple days or a day, whatever. That way it dries it out just a tad, because it oftentimes a little bit drier makes a better cigar, because a lot of times they're overly humidified by the time they get to you. So it takes a couple weeks to get settled. It's properly used. It's just shiny and nice. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. You can't see it. Anyway, as you can see, the roughed in little office space I'm building out here. I am building a lounge, like a little small lounge in an office off my deck. I have a large deck here, and I took most of it to build this. Built the wife a chicken coop, custom chicken coop with a huge run. Bougie, super bougie, and so cleaned up the yard, made a fire pit, did a lot of things, and did all the little honeydew things she wanted in the house. Now this is something for me. Can't see it, but I got like tons of tools and everything over here. It's just a little crowded. So I had a hard week this week. So in this handyman business, I had a few guys working with me, and I do so many different things, which I like that. I like doing something different every day. I get it energizes me to do different stuff every day and to constantly be challenged. If I get a little trapped, or I feel like I'm in a box when I do the same thing over and over again every single day. Like, it doesn't work well with my personality, just doesn't work. It doesn't vibe with me. I like doing things different every day. The problem with that is that's not normal. Oftentimes when I get guys who come to me for work and I give them the jobs, they realize after trying all the jobs, they say, I just like electrical, so I want to go just do electrical. Okay, it's great. I encourage that. I want you to follow your path, do what you gotta do. The guy says, I just want to paint. I'm just gonna go do painting jobs. You know. Um, I don't really like working in people's houses. I want to go flip my own houses. Okay, go ahead. That's great. I seem to be like a launch pad to figure out what people want to do with their lives. And that's cool. But the problem with that is when they do leave, after I've already estimated a bunch of jobs and they start coming down the pipeline, and sometimes it's a month or two after I estimated it before they're ready for the work to be done. And sometimes longer. And I estimated those jobs based on the crew I had. See what I'm saying? So I don't have very many more of those left. I think I've gotten through most of them. But I just got one of the last big ones done this week. And it was rough. I had to get a 50-foot boom, rent that, and do this work from a boom because I didn't have help. So that was a way for me to have extra hands and to do all the lifting and replacing all the wood rot and the fascia and the soffits on second story, whereas two guys, two ladders, we could have knocked it out, and one guy on the ground handing stuff up. So it was a hard week. So this is my first time blending a cigar, right? And I had to make me two blends. Both blends were phenomenal. Like, when I first got them in, me and the roller told the importer which ones were his favorite when he brought them over from the Dominican, and which one he liked the best out of all of them. So when he brought him over, or when we sat down at his office here in Kansas City, he said this one was his favorite. I'm like, well, then let's smoke that one. So me and him smoked it. And this guy is, he's very specific on what he likes and what he smokes. He usually just smokes that all day long. And he tried this, and he said, wow, that's a good stick. And I thought he was just gassing me up, And before he even crunched the numbers on how much the stick was going to cost, he said, man, that's a $13 to $15 stick. And I was like, yikes. I'm like, how can you tell that just by smoking it? What level of quality it is, And then I smoked one of the blends, or one of the cigars, with the owner of he has 2 lounges here in Kansas City, and owner of a lounge, he knows what he likes too. So he's looking at this guy coming in with, you know, I don't have any, I don't have a lounge. I'm not famous. You know, guys like me, I don't have a tobacco shop. You know, so guys like me don't make cigars. You know, I've only really been smoking cigars for the past year, like intentionally trying to learn it, learn um, the culture, um, getting into the flavors, you know. So, but I'm a quick learner. You know, I'm a handyman. I can do everything. I got a kinder can mindset. You know, so I've always been really good at figuring stuff out. It's like my superpower, if you will. So I sat down and smoked this with him, and he's like, and he smoked. He goes, "Wow, that's a 13, 14, $15 stick." I'm like, "How do you know that?" Because I hadn't even told him the price yet, and and I thought it was funny. And then I sat down. I'm a member at a lounge out here in South KC, um, underground cigar distribution. It's a cool little lounge out here, and um, so I go in there, sit down with the owner, and I smoke one of these blunts with him. And he says, "That's a good stick. That's a 13, 14, $15 stick." And I'm just like, "How do you guys know that?" It just blows my mind. Like, you taste it, like, oh, that's how much it should cost. You know, like, I don't know. But I just thought that was interesting. And then I went back around and, what was it? Let's see, today's Friday. So, yesterday, I went down and sat down with the importer again. And I told him what these other cigar guys, what these other cigar lounge owners said. And I said, they said the exact same thing you did when you first lit it up and took a few puffs. They both said it's a $13 to $15 stick. And they was like, really? I was like, yeah, it just blew my mind how each of you guys know the value of something and what you guys could easily sell it for based on just taking a couple puffs. It just blew me away. Which I took that as a lesson, which I have a lot to learn about the cigar business. So I'm just a guy who enjoys sitting down, contemplating, thinking, um, planning, you know, processing, just having a cigar. And I enjoy those moments. I look forward to the times with just me, myself, and I. And my mornings, just me and God, just sitting down with the Bible open and my notebook open, just talking to the Lord. You know. For a guy like me who's um, always on, always going, always going hard, grinding. You know, I've been in a season, if you will, of burnout and making time to decompress and waking up early and setting aside time just to get my mind right in the morning and making some space for me in the evening to decompress and without losing my intentionality with my wife and not losing my intentionality with my daughter and still putting those things first. It's I needed that. It's really starting to pull me out of that um, burnout, that grind mode, that constantly after it, you know. Because every minute of my life for the past few years really has been for others, you know. It's for the business, it's for my wife, for my child, for this, for that, for work, admin work, working in the field, taking care of clients, working on the home, you know. It's just all output. And I didn't have any space in my life for input, if that makes sense. Or some time to put back into myself, if you will. So, cigars have helped me do that. Making time for myself has helped me do that. Reading and writing helps me do that. You know, I like when I'm working by myself, I just put my headphones in, push play on a book, and just get. I do tons of continuing education, if you will. Tons of reading books, investing in myself, listen to podcasts and stuff that help me learn and grow, you know, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah. It's been a long, hard road. It's going to continue to be a long, hard road. Because I'm going to keep doing hard things. I mean, you got to choose your hard in life. I mean, it's hard being at a dead end job. It's also hard seeing what all you're capable of. It's hard working a 9 to 5 every day. It's also hard stepping out on faith and starting a business and hitting the pavement and getting the word out and becoming a household name. It's hard being stagnant. It's also hard growing. Either way, it's hard. It's kind of hard to There's this saying that says, how does it go? Something about motivation doesn't last, and when the motivation runs out, you always fall back to the level of your disciplines. The level of your systems, if you will, the level of your how you set your life up, you know. And if you set your life up to be consistent in little areas where you get little wins here and there, for example, some people need somebody to constantly be motivating them. Whereas I don't need anybody to motivate me because I motivate myself. How do I do that? Well, at the most grunt level, it's I got to take care of my wife. I got to take care of my child. I got dogs. And I got a home. So at the most basic grunt level, it's I gotta eat, you know. And other people are counting on me to provide that. But when I set a little goal just outside of that comfort zone, then that creates motivation. There's literally, I don't know the name of it, but there's literally an area of your brain. There's one area of your brain that grows or shrinks. It grows or shrinks. And how it grows is by doing things you don't want to do. In other words, doing the hard thing. Like when you do a thing that's stagnant or lazy, that part of the brain will shrink. When you do the thing that's hard or outside of your comfort zone, or the thing you don't want to do but you need to do in order to get to the place where you wish you were, it grows. I don't know if those two things are connected with motivation, but it works. It helps. It's December out here in KC, so it's a little cold. This week, yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday it was like 20 degrees. But that's not what it felt like. It felt like 10 degrees. It's like white pepper with a little bit of red pepper that lingers on the retro, and then some Vietnamese cinnamon, kind of sweet and spicy. A good Connecticut broadleaf wrapper tends to be, from my experience, add some richness as well as strength. But most importantly, it adds a little bit of spice and a hint of sweetness. It's not flavored, but just like a little hint. And I've trained myself to kind of learn how to taste things by listening to cigar guys on the YouTube, hear them talk about cigars and what they should taste like, and reading about cigars and what the aficionados or the reviewers taste when they taste it, when they smoke it, and learning to pick up those notes. My palate isn't that refined, but ultimately, when I smoke a cigar, it all boils down to that's a good stick, but that's not a good stick. Or that was alright. A good stick has a couple different levels to it for me. A bad stick is I'm going to remember that I didn't like that. I will also say if it's alright, it means I probably learned from it. I learned what I liked or didn't like, but I probably wouldn't buy it again, like a one and done type thing. And then good stick is I'm going to smoke another one. Or there's a different level is I want to buy a box. I want to make sure I keep these in my humidor at all times. So, and I have various cigars that I keep that I like. Some are cheap, some are expensive. I like Charter Oak, Maduro, and Habano. I like Last Cause. I like Liga Privadas. I like Compadres. I like Rocky Patel Decade. I like Alec Bradley Prensados. These are all like cigars I just keep on hand at all times. So that's kind of my favorite flavor profile, if you will. My goal with this cigar business is just to blend some cigars that I like and perhaps other people like them and want to buy them and smoke them too. I also want to, so you can go on like any big cigar website and get all the big brands, all the commercial products, if you will. Um, but what you're not going to find is your local mom and pop cigar stores brands in there. So my goal is to organize all these underground, underdog, mom and pops, cigar lounge, cigar brands that nobody knows about. These cigars that they made to sell in their stores, they made for themselves as well, and create a website where you can just buy all local products, you know, your small businesses. Why not? I would rather give my money to a smaller company than I would a big company. Not because I'm against big companies, but because I don't know, man. I want to support my neighbors. You know, I want to support my friends. I want to support the little guy, and I want them to support me. You know, I think that's cool. And if you've ever wanted to start your own cigar, hit me up. I hope you do it. Yeah, I'm very happy with this stick. Oh, so anyway, what I was saying about the cold is, I think this weekend I'm gonna put up the insulation in this room so it's a little warmer. Got a little space heater going right here. It's a little chilly out here. I realized that the guys I watch on YouTube, like I like Dry Creek Wrangler, Cigar Preacher, you know, guys like that. And when they're on these YouTube channels, man, they sound so cool. And I've listened to some of my videos play back, and I'm just like, these videos suck. And I'm sure you guys probably think the same thing, but I don't know, maybe I'll get better doing it, you know. I'm just gonna be me, just gonna be honest, authentic, and real daily, and hopefully people can connect with that. I was watching one guy when he started up his video, he said who he was, and the guy he was interviewing was actually his friend. He goes, "Why are you talking like that?" He said, "I don't know. It's just whenever the video comes on, I just put on this voice." And I think that's funny, but that's not me. And what you see is what you get. This is who I am. When I'm hanging out with my wife, this is who I am. Probably a little more playful when I'm hanging out with my baby girl. When I'm hanging out with friends, it's just, this is me. This is who I am. So, See where that goes. I don't know. See, we're 40 minutes through this video and I'm not even halfway done yet. I feel like I've been talking a lot, but I've been puffing on this thing pretty steady. So it's a little Lonsdale. It's a, what is it, 46 by 6.5. It's got a little investment on it. I read a poem today. It really hit me. Let me read it. Let me find it. It's a short poem. It's a Persian. It's actually a Persian. It's a fun word. Persian poem. And it says, life is yours, death is mine. Peace is yours, stress is mine. Happiness is yours, sorrow is mine. Everything is yours, but you are mine. Just thinking about that, you know, being a man and, you know, making space to work hard to where my wife doesn't have to work if she doesn't want to. She only has to work as much as she wants to. And sometimes that's hard. She's training up. She's the one who answers the phone for the handyman business, and she's been training up a new admin to replace her because she's going to be having a baby here in the next few months. So we're going to have a little baby boy. But everything I do, I mean, the hard labor I do, the hard work, the long hours, is to provide and take care of her and her baby and her home. And I go out in the world and I deal with that stress and that pain and that struggle. So that way she can just be who she wants to be. And provide whatever she wants and whatever she needs is my goal. My reward is, just like this poem says, my reward is her getting to live how she wants to live, and her having the peace of walking in her femininity and getting to live out her dream of just being a wife and a mother, you know. And living her best life, and she gets to have everything she wants. And my reward is I get her. You know, I get to have my wife and her best self and my family. I don't know, that poem just hit me today. I like reading poetry. I like reading books. I like reading the Bible. Just like learning. What are some of your favorite books? You know, what is your purpose in life? Why do you do what you do every day? Why do you work so hard for your family? My wife is grateful and she appreciates me, but I don't require that ever. I just do what I do because I'm the man. It's just what I'm supposed to do, you know. And I'm happy and I'm honored to be able to be that for her. But it is lonely sometimes. It is lonely sometimes. Especially if you don't have anybody that you can be real with. I have people in my life that I could be honest, authentic, and real with. So it makes it a lot easier. Do you have someone in your life you can be honest, authentic, and real with? Cigar's so good, I could smoke this every day. That's how you know you got a good cigar. Let's say probably about halfway. Cigar is consistent. I would say it's upper medium to full body. sounds. Anyway, I think I'm gonna finish this one by myself. It's a great stick. It'll probably be a couple months before it's available for sale. But keep your eye out. I still got the logo done, got the band done. Still gotta make the box. I think the box is gonna be all like a bright ivory in color with black on it. I want to find a way to tell this cigar story when people sit down and smoke it. Give them something to think about. So if you have any advice on that, I'd be happy to hear it. What makes a cigar pop out to you when you go through a humidor at your brick and mortar shop? When you want to try something new? Anyway, thanks for joining me. This is Brandon Michael of Bala Enterprise, smoking Bala Blend number 1. This is the Lonsdale. I like this blend so much that I'm actually going to try 4 different other sizes in the same blend and see which one I like best and start rolling out that one the best, my favorite. See how it goes. Thanks for being with me. Till next time.